Here's your wrestling news for November 25th, 2025. Your headlines for today include: match stopped on Raw after Penta suffers major injury, huge update on his condition, Solo Sikoa advances controversially, Triple H accidentally reveals Seth Rollins WrestleMania 42 status, trouble already brewing in Roman Reigns' WarGames team on Raw, Roman Reigns drops huge tease on Raw, next opponent revealed, Roman Reigns and WarGames team went off script on Logan Paul, real story revealed. Raw moment goes wrong, Brock Lesnar stuns crowd with Botch. Huge booking mistake made with WWE Champion, fans upset. Identity of fake John Cena on Raw finally revealed. Fans spot major WarGames clues hidden throughout Raw, and more. During Penta's match with Solo Sikoa, things took a concerning turn when Penta appeared to injure his shoulder after hitting a Hurricane Rana off the barricade. The landing looked awkward and WWE immediately kept the cameras off him, usually a clear indication that the situation is legitimate and not a part of the script. Moments later, the referee stopped the match and awarded the win to Solo Sikoa, with Penta unable to continue. It's an unfortunate setback, especially since Penta reunited with Rey Fenix and Triple H just days ago, and WWE seemed ready to finally give him meaningful momentum. That said, we cannot rule out the possibility that Penta likely would have won here and rekindled his rivalry with Gunther in what may have been one of the better TV matches of the year. According to early dirt sheet reports, Penta is believed to have suffered a shoulder injury similar to Liv Morgan's, and if accurate, he may be on the shelf for the foreseeable future. As of this writing, the exact severity of Penta's injury is still unknown, and we'll keep you updated as more information becomes available. Do you think Penta was on track to win this match, or would Solo Sikoa have taken it regardless? Share your predictions in the comments. Triple H has finally responded to concerns about WWE leaning too heavily on older main event stars, and he made it clear that the conversation is much bigger than the names fans typically point to. Speaking with Complex, Triple H acknowledged that top talents like Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and Seth Rollins continue to lead WWE's major storylines, but he stressed that these stars represent only one layer of the roster. He highlighted the next generation already rising beneath them, pointing to young names like Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and other emerging standouts who are quickly developing into future centerpieces. Between a Brock Lesnar, between Roman, Punk, Cody, Seth is on the shelf right now, but he factors into that too, so many others, and that's not even counting the new generations of the Braun Breakers, the Bronson Reeds, the younger guys that are up and coming. Triple H said that while the current main event talent pool skews older, the real power of WWE lies in its depth, a foundation of younger wrestlers who are already proving they can carry the load when their time comes. When people talk about the business now and they talk about where our talent are at, yeah, all the top players are in top positions and they're a bit older, but the thickness and the depth of what is underneath them is what I'm most excited about, because the field is deep. The business is going to be in good shape for a long time. When the topic shifted to Seth Rollins, Triple H went out of his way to reassure fans. He made it clear that WWE still has concrete plans for Rollins, even as he recovers from injury, and strongly hinted that Rollins could be back in time for WrestleMania Vegas, keeping him firmly in the mix for the biggest storylines of 2026. The thing about Survivor Series WarGames this year is, and you can see it in the WrestleMania commercials, the field is wide open, right? Between Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins is on the shelf right now, but he strongly factors into that as well. Triple H's message is clear: WWE isn't just relying on its established main event icons, it's actively building the next wave. And with Rollins expected to re-enter the picture sooner rather than later, the company's top tier is only getting stronger. Do you agree with Triple H's outlook? Is WWE balancing its veteran stars and younger talent correctly? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. WWE RAW opened with the OTC stepping into the ring to address last week's chaos. He called on the Oklahoma City crowd to acknowledge him, but before he could go any further, Cody Rhodes' music hit and the American Nightmare made his way to the ring. A close-up shot revealed a fresh scar over Rhodes' right eye, a visible reminder of the brutal beating he took from Drew McIntyre the week before. Once in the ring, Rhodes questioned Roman Reigns directly, asking what the Tribal Chief gains from teaming with him, CM Punk, and the Usos inside WarGames. "I've been in this war, you're just now joining," Reigns fired back. Reigns made it clear that he was returning for one reason: family. He cited the Usos and his investment in them as the driving force behind aligning with Rhodes' side against the Vision, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar. Rhodes seemed ready to officially welcome Reigns to the babyface team until CM Punk stormed out. Punk took issue with Cody calling it his team, setting off a verbal clash between the two champions. Reigns watched it unfold before roasting both men, telling them to take it out and measure it, taking a sharp jab at the size of their egos. But the real shock came at the end. Before leaving the ring, Reigns glanced at both of their title belts and calmly stated that the championship would look better over his shoulder. He didn't specify whether he meant Punk's World Heavyweight title or Cody's undisputed WWE Championship, and the ambiguity rattled both men. Reigns walked away, leaving Rhodes and Punk stunned. If this segment proved anything, it's that this WarGames team is far from united. Reigns appears committed only to the Usos, who remain his true loyalty both in and out of the ring. In contrast, Team Vision looks far more aligned heading into battle. Survivor Series has a habit of igniting the next major storyline heading into WrestleMania season, with Reigns openly teasing his pursuit of the championship gold, even at the expense of his own WarGames allies. The seeds of that next chapter may have been planted right here. As an opening segment, it hit every note fans were waiting for. Direct answers, simmering tension between all three top stars, and a clear reminder that nothing about their volatile history has changed. And now, the path is wide open for the OTC to make a move on either champion sooner rather than later. Fresh off his upset win over Bronson Reed on SmackDown, Carmelo Hayes came out swinging, showing a fire and intensity that hadn't been seen since his NXT Championship days. He took the fight straight to Gunther from the opening bell, pushing the ring general onto the defensive in the early moments. But it only took one thunderous, chest-caving chop to turn the momentum. Gunther shut Melo down instantly, seizing control as the match rolled into the first commercial break. Afterward, Gunther continued to dominate with his trademark precision and brutality until a powerbomb attempt went wrong. Hayes countered mid-air into a tornado DDT, leveling the playing field and leaving both men down as the match paused for a second time out. Coming out of the break, the pace shifted into overdrive. Hayes launched himself across the ring and even to the floor, trying to overwhelm Gunther with speed and desperation, searching for that one opening to pull off another major upset. Back inside, Melo went for the drive-by, but Gunther anticipated it, dodged, and immediately cinched in a sleeper hold. Hayes fought out, but the ring general transitioned seamlessly into a crushing powerbomb, securing the pinfall victory. This was yet another masterclass from Gunther, who continues to prove he's pound for pound the best wrestler in WWE today. For the second straight week, he took a hungry young star, let them shine, elevated their credibility, and still walked out the winner. And if this is the man set to retire John Cena, fans shouldn't be expecting nothing less than an all-timer for the Unseen 17's final match. Now Gunther moves on to face Solo Sikoa in the semifinals, and fans can expect yet another absolute banger of a match. Do you want to see Gunther go all the way into the tournament finals and stand across the ring from John Cena in his last match? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. For the WarGames Advantage match, Paul Heyman made a surprising call by pairing Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul up to face the Usos, while warning them that Brock Lesnar would be in the building and actively hunting Roman Reigns after being sent packing by the OTC last week. The bout itself was solid, with momentum shifting consistently between both sides. Things took a chaotic turn when Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed appeared at ringside, only to be met instantly by Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. With bodies flying at ringside and the match unraveling, Logan Paul capitalized on the distraction and stole the win with a quick schoolboy roll-up on Jimmy Uso. The post-match brawl erupted immediately, with all men clashing at ringside. The chaos escalated when Roman Reigns stormed the arena, unloading a barrage of Superman punches to clear out the opposition and standing tall with his WarGames team. But the moment didn't last long. Brock Lesnar appeared next, slipping briefly on the ramp before charging toward the ring, sparking a massive pull-apart fight that spilled across the arena. While the broadcast didn't show the final moments, those in attendance revealed that the brawl ended with the babyfaces standing tall. In a wild post-show moment, Logan Paul was left alone in the ring as Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, CM Punk, and Cody Rhodes dumped prime energy all over him in a symbolic burial to close out the night. Later, Sportskeeda Wrestling reported that this segment was not planned, with Reigns, Jey, Punk, and Rhodes going off script to close the show. With the most star-studded WarGames lineup WWE has ever put together, tensions are at a boiling point heading into Sunday. Do you think Roman Reigns is on the verge of a full heel turn again? And which champion do you believe he'll eventually target after WarGames, Cody Rhodes or CM Punk? Sound off in the comments. This week on Raw, the Oklahoma City crowd thought they were witnessing a surprise return when John Cena's music suddenly hit. Instead, fans were met with a parody version of Cena, played by a little person alongside a miniature version of Stu, the cameraman Cena famously used in his old segments. It was the kind of skit WWE hasn't touched in the entire Triple H era, echoing humor far more reminiscent of the Vince McMahon creative style. The Cena impersonator fully committed to the act, mimicking the GOAT's mannerisms before being taken out with a single boot. Rey Mysterio then rushed out to make the save, chasing Dirty Dominik Mysterio from the ring. The whole segment felt like the most Vince-coded moment WWE has aired since McMahon stepped away from creative control. For Sikoa, a self-professed micro-wrestler, the opportunity to portray John Cena on national television was a career highlight. And while the idea was a callback to Cena mocking Kurt Angle in 2003 ahead of No Mercy, the execution fell flat. The segment was too short, lacked substance, and felt out of place on WWE TV more than 2 decades later. The tone shifted immediately afterward as Judgment Day's JD McDonough and Finn Balor made their way out. Dominik Mysterio briefly interacted with them before McDonough headed to the ring for a singles match against Rey Mysterio. Once the bell rang, McDonough took control early, showcasing his technical ability and ruthlessness as he worked over the veteran. Even when Rey tried to build momentum, McDonough shut him down with a sharp Spanish fly that popped the crowd. But the end came down to a key miscommunication. Balor's attempt to assist backfired, giving Rey just enough of an opening to hit the 619, followed by a springboard splash for the win. Oddly, Dominik was not involved in the finish, which could play into further dissension within Judgment Day if WWE Creative plays it right, especially since it looked like Dirty Dom left his boys to do his work for him. Becky Lynch, Nia Jax, Lash Legend, and the women's tag team champions Kairi Sane and Asuka kicked off a segment by hitting the ring to hype Saturday's women's WarGames match. Lynch immediately launched into a rant about the injustice of her loss to Maxine Dupree last Monday and warned AJ Lee that stepping inside of a cage with the man would be the biggest mistake she's ever made. As expected, Becky hyped up her team, but in classic Becky fashion, she still managed to center everything around herself. That's when Rhea Ripley's music hit, cutting her off. The Eradicator made her way out, followed by Io Sky, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss before AJ Lee finally arrived to confront Lynch. The old AJ would have come down here and torn your face off, but luckily for you, therapy works, AJ told Becky, firing one of the night's sharpest lines as the verbal sparring escalated. Ripley blasted Nia Jax in the face with a microphone, sparking a full-scale brawl between both teams. The babyfaces ultimately cleared the ring, and in a moment that stunned the crowd, Sky climbed to the top rope and delivered a moonsault onto all the heels except Becky, and in one of the most unexpected sights of the night, Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley actually stood together on the stage doing crotch chops, yes, the suck it, in perfect sync. A surreal image few ever imagined seeing in a WWE ring. A reminder, the Women's WarGames Advantage match is set for this Friday on SmackDown, and the outcome could hold major implications for Saturday. The babyfaces standing tall here would traditionally signal a victory for the heels at Survivor Series, but with the men's WarGames match also leaning toward a heel outcome, the question now is simple: could WWE actually let the villains win both WarGames matches this year? WWE added another dose of comedy to the show tonight, unexpected, especially after the Dominik segment, but still landed. The New Day were confirmed for tag team action next week, earning a shot at the tag team titles against AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. Backstage, the weight of being Intercontinental Champion seemed to hit Maxine Dupree. She was confronted first by Ivy Nile and then Roxanne Perez, setting the stage for multiple contenders eyeing her title. A vignette then aired for Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer, where she told Nikki Bella, "I know your history, you don't know mine." It was a sharp line, but also highlighted a bigger issue: the Women's World Championship build for Survivor Series feels surprisingly thin. So far, Nikki's attacked Stephanie twice, Stephanie delivered one promo in response, and that's been the entire setup. For such a major title match, many fans believe WWE can and should deliver more. What do you think? Please share your comments below. What did you think of Monday Night Raw this week? Which segment stole the show, and who should Reigns set his sights on for his next title shot? Let us know in the comments below. Don't miss our next video coming at 5:30 p.m. Eastern with all the latest wrestling updates. Smash that bell icon and select all notifications so you're always in the loop.